What's up, y'all? Alvin here, and I've been getting this question a lot lately, and that is, how do I become a brand ambassador? How do I get brand deals, whatever? Instead of answering each one individually, I thought I would make a video about it, and that way, hopefully it'll help out more than just the people who reached out directly. And besides, it's good for me. All right, so just for a little bit of a clarification, there's all different levels of these brand deals or these ambassadorships, everything from, a company sending you a free product and then you promote the product for them, all the way up to, the company sends you product for free and actually pays you some type of fee to promote their product, whether that's like a yearly payment or a payment for a video you make or a post that you make. So there's all kinds of different ways that these brand deals, ambassador deals work. And this is how it's worked for me. So everybody's journey is going to be a little bit different. So I just thought I would put this out there because I feel like this will help. I've been getting so many questions about it. So some of the brands that I've been working with, Yeti, Howler Brothers, Orvis, some of these brands I've been working with for close to a decade. And I'm going to say, first and foremost, the best way to put yourself in a good position to get these brand deals and to make it as advantageous for you and the company is to just put yourself out there. Be genuine, be authentic, build your business, build your brand into something that companies want to help them, so they reach out to you. That's going to be the best deal you're going to get, is to put yourself out there, build up your brand, build up your name, and have the companies reach out to you, because at that point, you're going to have a lot more leverage. They see you, they know who you are, they know about your brand, and they're willing to probably make it worth your while to help them promote their business. So that's going to be the best situation to be in. And obviously that's pretty much how I've gotten all my brand deals, ambassadorships. I have companies reach out to me all the time, offering me free product or asking me if I do this or I do that. And the vast majority of them, I just delete the email. Either it's some product that I have no use for, or I do use electric toothbrushes, but I pretty much just deleted the email from the electric toothbrush company that wanted me to be a brand ambassador. I just, it's not really something that I feel like I can really promote. I think you should brush your teeth. I brush my teeth a couple times a day and it's pretty important, but it just doesn't really fit with my brand. And that's one of the things I think you have to be careful. Don't just put anything out there because the company's willing to pay you or send you some free product. You got to make sure it's something that you can stand behind. And going back to the thing about being genuine and authentic, that also makes it much easier for the brands to want to work with you. So if you're just doing whatever's a cool thing for now, you probably will get some traction on social media and you probably will have some brands reach out to you, but you're probably not going to build up like long-term relationships that are going to be really beneficial to you and to the brand. So that's just the thing, just really make sure that you're being authentic, make sure you're being genuine, put yourself out there, build your personal brand up, and it's going to be a lot easier for these companies to want to reach out to you and have you as their representative. Now, we can dive a little bit deeper into that. There's all kinds of different levels, like I said earlier. So if you are a guide or you have a guide service or a lodge, I think it is probably worthwhile to reach out to some brands that you want to work with. Say you really like, XYZ rod company and you want to use their products in your business, whether it's your guide service, your lodge, whatever. Reach out to them. They probably have some type of program where you can get greatly discounted products, and they may even give you free products, and they'll probably help you promote your business. But you're going to have a legitimate business, a legitimate guide service if you want them to give you cheap rods or give you free rods or help you promote your business. So once again, it goes back to building up your authentic, genuine person, business, whatever, online. And online is probably where it's going to happen these days. Unfortunately, sorry, you're going to have to do social media. Used to be you could just go around and hand out cards at the fly shops, and the word of mouth thing would get you where you want to be. And that does work to a certain extent now, but you're probably going to have to get out there on social media. That's how brands are growing their businesses, and so they're going to want to see you on social media. They're going to want to, basically, they're buying into your audience, the audience that you have. They're trying to expand their brand by using your brand and your audience. So you're going to have to grow a brand. You're going to have to grow an audience. You may hate that, but it's true. So that's one level. I say it's definitely worth reaching out to a brand if you're willing to, pay for the product, help them to promote the product. Now, there are, like I said, I get tons of inquiries from businesses offering me product for promotion. Most of the time, I just turn them down outright. Or if it's a brand that I think may have a product that might appeal to me and my audience, then I offer them the option to pay me for promotion, whether that's a social media post on Instagram or sponsor a video on YouTube or whatever. But, I'm not going to do any type of promotion for free. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't, especially if it's a product that you actually can stand behind and you're feeling like getting the free product is worth the promotion that you're going to give them. That's probably a really good way to start growing your brand. But once you get to a certain point, or if you want to kind of set some ground rules for yourself and the brands you work with, I would say no to most of those free product for promotion deals. And in that same vein, even like I got a deal a while back where the company said, okay, we'll pay you this much for a video, and if it gets X number of views in a certain amount of time, we'll pay you this much. And I had to say no to that because, it's not my job to make sure people are excited about their product. If I genuinely enjoy a product, I'm going to do my best to show the good points of that product. But if people don't care, that's not my fault. So I'm not doing a video that's like my payment is tiered based on how many people watch the video. I put in just as much work to make the video, whether anybody watches it or not. So you have to think about that more like, well, hey, I'm paying for a service, kind of like my guide service. You pay me to take you out and you have the chance of catching a fish. But even if you don't catch anything, I'm still doing the same amount of work and it's still going to cost you the same amount at the end of the day. So think about it like that. You're providing a service and, you can't guarantee a certain percentage of views, no more than I can guarantee you're going to catch X number of fish on a day out fishing. Does that make sense? So, definitely, there's things, and I've considered this, I haven't done it, but, a lot of folks in the tech world will actually go out and buy a product and then do a review. And at that point, I guess I have done that a couple of times. At that point, you can make a legitimate review. This is something I bought with my own money, and I'm going to promote this product if I like it. If I don't like it, maybe I'll talk about how bad it is. That's probably not the best way to get that company to reach out to you in the future, although that has worked out for me. I had a product, didn't make a video about it, but I thought the product was not as good as it could have been. So I reached out to the company and said, hey, I've been using your product for a while and I've had some real issues with it. What can we do? Well, what happened was that product brought me on as a paid ambassador, and we worked on the particular product that I thought was not that great. and they made it better. So that was one situation where, now I didn't, like I said, I didn't make a video about it, I didn't post it, but I did reach out to the company and say, hey, I like your product except for this. And it was a great relationship for a number of years. The flip side of that too is it is a relationship. So it's a two-way street. I'm doing stuff for this brand and they're doing stuff for me, whether it's paying me, promoting me, free product. At some point, you got to decide whether it's worth it to you or not, as well as the brand is going to have to decide whether it's worth it to you or not. I did have a brand that I was working with. It was a paid ambassadorship, and we had a relationship that went on for a few years, and they decided that, hey, it doesn't seem like Alvin's that into our product. He doesn't really post about it that much. He does use it on occasion. We think we're going to terminate this relationship. So they did. And so I lost some money. But the thing was, I couldn't really promote the product any more than I was promoting it. I couldn't do something that I didn't feel like was natural. I didn't want to be forced. So once again, going back to that whole genuine, authentic thing. So we parted ways. I had another brand that was a pretty lucrative contract, and they just decided that the whole brand ambassador thing wasn't working out for them financially. So they cut all the ambassadors loose. And the thing is it was an honest relationship that we had. And when the financial relationship was over, I understand it's a business move. So I was like, yeah, totally makes sense. I'm still working with that brand, even though a lot of the other ambassadors, got their feelings hurt or whatever. I'm still working with that brand because I understand that was a part of their business, and I do appreciate their products, and I do appreciate the support that I get from them, even though it's not as lucrative for me financially. But it's a business thing, so you have to think about it that way. What are they going to do for me? But at the same time, what am I going to do for them? It's a two-way street. You got to be valuable to the brand, and then they'll start calling. It's that simple, right? We could talk about this forever and ever, but I'll say, let's just boil it all down to, if you want to become a brand ambassador, make yourself valuable to the brands that you want to be an ambassador for, and just sit back. Maybe they'll call, maybe they won't, but it doesn't really matter, right? Because you're building up a brand, you're building up a business. And at the end of the day, this stuff is just sort of like icing on the cake. I have a business that supports me. I work in that business daily, and these brands appreciate the business that I have and the image that I'm portraying in the marketplace. They want to buy into that, so they buy into it. It's a two-way street. It's good for me, and it's good for them. So that's the whole deal with the brand ambassadors. Now, I'm sure there's lots of other details that I left out or I didn't think about. So please subscribe to the channel. Put your comments or questions in the description. This is my We Can Talk About Whatever We Want channel. So brand deals, whatever, anything, any questions, any suggestions you have, drop them in the comments. Thanks for watching the video. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, more content coming from all different directions on this channel. Thanks for being here. I hope I see you in the next one. And in the meantime, I hope you are having an amazing day.